Hello and welcome to Random Multiclass Thursday. It's 0219 and it's Thursday when you're watching this, so I have a random multiclass for everyone here watching. So before this video starts, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave down any random multiclasses you want to see next Thursday. So yeah, the this build or today's multiclass is going to be a Rogue and Druid multiclass. Now you may be asking me, 0219. What type of synergies do these classes have that you would want to multiclass them? First of all, I really like the flavor of having an efficient assassin rogue that the one thing he doesn't harm is just like an animal. Like he'll literally murder a whole town's guard in D&D 5e and then just not even harm a fly. Like the idea of that is just so funny to me. And overall, it does have a semi amount of synergy. I feel like if you take five to six levels of druid, you can actually really benefit the rogue class in some ways. Now, for this build, I won't be giving out an in-depth character sheet like this is what you should do every level on level 3 pick. I won't be giving out that. But I will just be giving out like an overall kind of scheme of this is probably what you should do around this level. So then you guys can have an idea. I believe for around your first 5 to 7 levels of rogue, you should probably just be a rogue. Let's just say you're a rogue that maybe he likes nature. Maybe he owns a little a plant that he keeps care of on the everlasting roads of an adventurer's life. We could say that he's or he likes animals or something. But then maybe one day when he's fighting a what's the most anti-druid when he's like fighting a fire elemental trying to burn down a forest, when he's fighting the fire elemental, he secretly falls down the hidden passageway of a tree or something, and he falls down into like a pool of holy druidic water that infuses with his body, giving him druid powers. Something like that, something dumb like that. Well, because in reality, there's not me. I guess, or you can just be like, you've always had druid powers, but you didn't really like to rely on them because you thought they're kind of boring. Or maybe the people. Oh, maybe you were a character in like in a city where it's all a bunch of criminals, and like you always had druidic powers, but they always thought that druid powers were like weird and like not good, so you kind of never showed them. And as you got more and more comfortable with your adventuring party, and as you adventured with them, you realized that your druid powers hold a lot of power for you, and you shouldn't be holding them back because of some preconceived notions that are incorrect. I feel like that can be a really cool like plot point to hit with your character, and you can still make a rogue that's edgy and all, but then he becomes less and less edgy and a druid eventually. So yeah, one thing I did notice about druids is they have proficiency with medium armor, which is something. But druids cannot wear armor or shields that are made out of metal in D&D 5e. Now, honestly, just talk to your DM about this. See if there's any armor or shields you can get that don't use metal armor. Not breastplate. I mean, I guess hide. You could wear hide. Well, that's worse than just hmm. I don't know. Maybe your DM can conjure you some magical druid armor that like works perfectly. I don't know. And like I don't know, maybe there's like a druid's like arch clothing, like the arch druid's clothing or something like that. Yeah. To get past the whole flavor section of this build, for the real like buffs, first of all, like the fact that proficiency in medium armor is pretty damn nice. Also, proficiency in shields is also really nice. Having a higher end class, having a higher armor class on the rogue is usually pretty damn useful. Simply for the fact is because rogues usually use one-handed weapons, such as a hand crossbow or like a rapier. They don't really ever use like weapons that are like big or anything like that. They don't use two-handed weapons. And first of all, the druid spell list isn't the strongest spell list by any means, but it's not weak either. It has some pretty decent defensive features such as absorb elements, and some pretty good offensive features such as fairy fire. Also, ice knife is one of those spells that not a lot of people take, But when you do have the chance of using it, or when you do take it, it gets surprisingly a lot of value, you feel. Also, Good Berry is really that powerful. Entangle, also pretty good spell. Detect Magic can be really nice because it is a ritual. Wait, do druids have ritual casting? Yeah, druids are ritual casters. Yeah, makes sense. Animal fan trip can be nice. Charm person can work. Cure wounds. You have some healing magic. You have some pretty nice magic. But at level 2 or level 3 in Druid is when your Druid levels really start to synergize with your Rogue levels. Because you get this one simple spell by the name of Summon Beast. Now, with Summon Beast, how it works is basically you can summon in a little buddy. This little buddy just fights your enemies for you. And this, if your buddy is fighting an enemy and is within 5 feet of them or engaged with them, you actually get your sneak attack guaranteed. So this is actually really nice because maybe if you're a party with a bunch of spellcasters, or you overall just don't have any allies that are engaged with a certain enemy, maybe there's like 5 enemies and your paladin barbarian are already fighting too. Maybe you should summon your beast. And your beast starts attacking it, and you as a rogue can step in, get your sneak attack damage, then get the hell out by disengaging or being a swashbuckler rogue. Which, and overall, still, this is a tanky body. I mean, it has 30 hit points if it's land or water, and it gains a +5 for every spell slot above second level. So, an extra 30 HP is no laughing matter at all. So, just having an extra 30 HP that can deal damage and do a bunch of really cool stuff is genuinely pretty damn nice. Um, I'm trying to see because I know with summoning spells, it's really weird because sometimes, because I know sometimes people rule that summoning beasts have their own initiative or they share your initiative. Rules is written, this one shares your initiative, but it takes your turn immediately after yours. It obeys your verbal commands, no action required. If you don't have any issues, it takes dodge action and is moved to avoid danger. So, yeah, you don't have to spend your bonus action or nothing like that to command your beast. That's sick, boy. And if you want names for your beast, for your air form, call Finn. For your land form, call hmm, I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of a bird name. Uh, damn, I'm trying to think of a bird name. For your land form, call Crowley. Land form, call him Crowley, and then for your water form, call him Elf. Yeah, those are the names for all your for all your animal companions. Very original names, very good ones too. And also, if you summon an air creature, it gets flyby, which is really good, and a 60-foot fly speed, which again is really damn good. And also, it can deal some decent damage. Dealing a D8 +4 plus the spell's levels of piercing damage is pretty damn nice. It uses your spell attack modifier to hit, so it's going to be ever growing. And also, it has multi attack, and the beast makes a number of attack equal to half this spell's level rounded down. So if you cast this with a 6 level slot, then you're getting a lot of value from this, which is pretty nice. So overall, using the summon beast spell actually provides massive value for the rogue. But now let's get into the more rigid leveling structure. Now I previously did say your first 5 to 7 levels rogue, and I think past that, honestly, I probably would take around. hmm, Okay, I think if you're doing the 5 levels of rogue, I'll take a 3 druid dip, then take that 7th level of rogue, then go until 6 druid. So I think by like level like 12 or 13, I would recommend being 7 rogue and then around 6 druid. I think that's a really good sweet spot that you could reach. First of all, you may be asking, druids need a good. Now, some of you may be asking, this is a little bit multi-ability score dependent or very mad. But every character wants a good wisdom, and you're already gonna have a good dexterity, which druids want a good dexterity for armor class. And constitution, well, every character has a good constitution. So yeah, it is 3, but again, it's 3 of the most important scores in all of D&D. And if I'm being honest, if we're using point buy, and if you already have a charisma based character in your party, then honestly, you could just dump your charisma and take dexterity, constitution, and wisdom all have them at 16 if you take half elf. Well, you'd be at like 17 for one of them, but you get the point. So overall, looking at it, you're not that multi-ability score dependent. Make sure to drink water, folks. So I think that honestly, I think ability score wise, it really doesn't affect it very much. Now, you may be asking me, what type of subclasses would we even use for this build? Now, for both, I kind of have some proposed that I think would bring great benefits to this multi-class. And to start off with Rogue, I think Arcane Trickster or Swashbuckler are my two top picks. Now, I'm saying, but Arcane Trickster in Scales of Intelligence. The Arcane Trickster has so many spells that don't even need intelligence. It's pretty damn surprising. And if I'm being honest, the Arcane Trickster, it has spell slots. So if you don't want to like delay your spell slot progression by that much, then honestly, it's perfectly valid to pick up the Arcane Trickster because you do get some pretty cool stuff like Magical Ambush and Mage Hand Ledgerman, which is basically just making your Mage Hand much stronger. Also, you get stuff like Booming Blade and Green Flame Blade, allowing you to deal a little bit more extra damage. But if you're playing a high elf, then you can already pick those as your free cantrip. But that wood elf extra 5 feet of movement is really nice though. So if you want to, you could take this. Now, for first level spells, they have Silvery Barbs, which is honestly all you really need. And also, I'm pretty sure they can also take. I think it's like they can take like one spell that is not. Yeah, you can take one spell that is not from the wizard spell list. And if I'm being honest here, the wizard spell list is one of the most stacked ones in the game. You could take Shield to just have that on your character. You can take Find Familiar. You can take honestly just so many really good stuff here. Now, honestly, I wouldn't really mind, but I think Find Familiar is a little bit unnecessary because we already have a bunch of familiars for all of our summoning companions. So I think I'll probably just take Shield here because just having Shield is really nice. At second level, you get stuff like Hold Person, Invisibility, and if you pair that with your ninth level feature, you're gonna be doing a lot of damage. Also, Shadow Blade and Suggestion, two very powerful spells as well. Now, at third level, you don't really get much, but you probably won't be reaching third level with an Arcane Trickster if you take Druid levels, so I wouldn't really be worrying about that. Now, if you don't really like the Arcane Trickster, which I know I'm not the biggest fan of it, I kind of think it's a little bit overhyped in my personal opinion, but again, I mean, I know some people die by it, so I'm not going to hate you, but if you don't like the Arcane Trickster, I really enjoy the Swashbuckler Rogue, and I think the Swashbuckler Rogue is also a really good fit for this thing. First of all, with the Swashbuckler Rogue, you get Rockish Audacity, which, yeah, isn't the best because your bonus to initiative. Like, overall, Rockish Audacity is kind of like, it's a little bad, but with fancy footwork, it allows you to just slip away from a creature without provoking opportunity attacks. So, I mean, it is pretty nice if you just do want to disengage yourself from a combat to just say, I go get him, but like you could just like stab him, disengage, then summoning your animal companion so that the guy doesn't run up to you and just start attacking you again. So I do think it has decent synergy with the druid, but looking at it now, I think the arcane trickster might probably be the better choice here. But again, the swashbuckler rogue does fit well enough that I really don't think you would notice too much, in my opinion. Now, for druid subclass, which one should we pick? I think obviously it's Shepherd Druid here. Shepherd Druid just makes our summons so much stronger, and if I'm being honest, this character is mainly a summoner. We're using the Druid spell list for its really good summoning spells, so then we can get almost infinite advantage. Also, stuff like Aura Vitality and Revivify and Lesser Restoration are amazing spells that hey, if you don't have a druid or a paladin didn't take lesser restoration, then you're not boned. If I'm being honest, and also, if the paladin doesn't have to take you spells a cleric would take, that's probably better because we all know paladins want to be wasting every single last of their spell slots on divine smite, not on casting lesser restoration. So if you can take it instead of forcing your paladin to waste a spell slot on it, it's better because you're a druid. You have more spell slots to work with than a paladin would. Overall, stuff like Chain Lightning or Vitality, Call Lightning, not Chain Lightning, they're still really good spells. And if you combine that with Revivify and like Summon and now you have access to Summon Fae, which is an additional summoning spell. So if you want to, you could summon a Fae with his what is it? It's with fuming. The Fae has advantage on all attack rolls, and also I didn't even mention the fact that druids that are not even moon and not even shepherd druids summon beast. If you pick the land or sea form, you get pack tactics. So when you do slip in with your enemy to attack him real quick, your beast will have advantage on all attack rolls, which is pretty damn nice in my personal opinion. Well, I guess this is more of a thing. It's okay because depending on DM's rule it, here it says that it takes its turn after yours. But if your DM rules it, that you guys both take your turns at the same time, and your summon beasts will be getting pack tactics pretty averagely. Or sometimes, like maybe if your barbarian is struggling with your enemy, you could tell your summoned beast to go help out the barbarian, and while you go help out the paladin that's dealing with another demon or whatever. So overall, your summon beast having pack tactics is really beneficial and overall super helpful for it. So yeah, that's kind of the main thing of this multi-class. If I'm being honest, it's kind of just using your summons to make it so you always have sneak attack, and overall just being a really good utility and also a very helpful character. But yeah, that's all for today's video. If you guys have any tips or tricks for this multi-class, or have played a druid rogue multi-class, leave it down below. And yeah, that's it for today. OT19 signing out. Peace.